Nam, and welcome. I'm Param Dave, and this is Puran Devi. Say hi, Puran Devi.
Hello, people of the podcast.
This is another episode of Chronicles of a Spiritual Warrior. Today, we're going to be talking about angels. So, Puran Devi, what do you know about angels?
I know they are God's helpers, that they have wings, and that they fly around being like little babies. And that's about it.
Well, yeah, a lot of times they are depicted with wings and stuff like that, and you're referring to the baby face ones with the cherubs. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so there's kind of like different classifications of angels, like there is different classifications of demons, like there's different classifications of humans, like so on and so
Okay.
forth. So yeah, as far as angels go, though they're all helpful. They're all can help you on your spiritual journey, and they can help you in different ways, just like summoning anything can kind of help you potentially.
Yeah.
um, it can do, also, but for angels, the angels are pretty safe. So it's like if you summon an angel, it's not like if you summon a demon, you got to like draw this complicated circle and keep it kind of like confined and make sure that it tells you the truth and all that other stuff. Um, as far as with angels go, you don't have to do that. And they're um, they tend to be on a higher vibrational frequency, so they are meant to help us along in our spiritual journey, helping us to achieve those markers that we want to achieve. Of course, in a positive direction.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of dip out if you want them to do anything negative. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah. So they are
Yeah,
really like helpers. So their mission is to actually help you and guide you.
correct, correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of a language called Enochian?
No.
Okay. It was developed by John Dee and Edward Kelly, probably back in the 1800s. And they said it was specifically meant as the language of the angels,
Okay.
so that um, so you can talk to the angels directly. Now, there was a lot of dispute over the validity of John Dee and Edward Kelly's claims, but I found from practical purposes it does work.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how do you learn it? Or is it like what type of language is it?
Well, it's considered a magical language, so it's not like, it's not like something like you need to go out and like learn like Latin or, like
Mm-hmm.
English and Spanish, and stuff like that. Um, it's more of it's a it's a magical language, so it ties into our English. And so what you do is there's a little chart that's a little conversion chart, and you go in. Okay, you want to say something with the letter, A. Okay, it's going to be pronounced this way in Enochian. And
Oh, okay.
so you go through that chart, and then what I did with it was I used that chart to I put it actually in an access program. I ended up doing that and making it so that I could type in English words and then it would translate it into Enochian for me. And that was pretty easy to do. Um, but that would then would when I had those Enochian words, then I used that as a spell um, to have the angels do whatever I wanted them to do
Oh,
for that
okay.
particular instance.
What did
Yeah.
you have them do? Like clean your room or something like that?
I forget exactly what things I had them do, but there was a few times I used it, and it did work. I think I mostly had them like protection, like guard my spaces physically, and
Hmm,
that's primarily what I used it for.
okay. That sounds
Yeah,
interesting. And do you know
yeah.
how these guys came up with this language, or do they just made it up?
Well, if that depends on who you ask. There's
Yeah,
some people that say they just made it up and that they were charlatans. Um, I don't know, I
as
wasn't there,
usual.
but yeah, their story is that Edward Cullen, um,
Not to be
uh,
mistaken with Edward Cullen, the vampire.
no, different guy altogether. So
Okay.
so Edward Kelly was supposedly channeled that information, and that's how it became. Working with John D and both of them together, they through the channel they were able to come up with this Nokian language.
Okay. That
Yeah.
makes sense. That's also like it reminds me a lot of like well in Gurmukhi, like all these mantras or shabbats or whatever,
Hmm.
they are also
Yeah.
like that, like, oh, he just emerged from a lake and it just like the words came out of his mouth and
Hmm.
people are kind of skeptical on like how. But
Hmm.
I guess that's pretty much like how languages were formed or something like that. So
Hmm.
I won't question their methods on how they got this language. I will try it. I will write it down.
Yeah. Yeah. It does work. Um, that's been my experience with it, and I have felt like after using it, I have felt the divine protection that an angel would bring about.
Hmm.
Um, Now, how do you di how do you differentiate between like an angel and other spirits? Do you know the answer
Mm,
to
no.
that?
The only
Uh,
thing I can think of is just like the overall feeling. Like,
mhm,
of course, if it's a demon, you immediately feel what we have talked about, like the heaviness and stuff turning out wrong, or
mhm,
ghosts,
mhm,
or even elves or stuff like that, hiding stuff and all that. And
mhm,
angels, I imagine it's a much lighter feeling, or even even like stuff starts to turn out fine. Or oh, I do have like I have one experience. I think it was with angels, but I will let you
okay.
continue before I do that.
Okay, we'll come back to that. But as far as like the being in the presence of an angel, you're going to feel very loved, very comforted, very safe.
Hmm.
Um, as opposed to, the presence of a demon, like you said, you're going to feel like heavy, scared, anxious,
Yeah.
um, those lower emotions. Sometimes even like, with demonic presence, you feel like, even like the greed or lust or, things like that, they feed on all those emotions.
Demonic precedents?
Demonic presences. Sorry.
Not to talk about any political stuff, there are definitely not any demonical precedents. Please do not ban
Well,
our
that's
channel.
debatable, I guess. Yes, don't shadow ban our channel.
Don't just cut it out of air mysteriously from one day to another
Yeah.
after 10 years of airing live.
Mm,
Okay.
that's funny.
Um, yeah, go on. Now that we have clarified it's not demonic precedence, it's yeah.
Demonic presence. You are in the presence of a demon. So if you're in the presence of a demon, you're going to feel very, possibly very heavy, very, very scared.
Hmm.
You feel this dark energy around you. Um, but that's not the case with the angelic presidents. Angelic pres.
You
Now
keep
I can't
saying
talk. Uh,
precedent.
uh, In the presence of an angel. In the presence of an angel, you'll feel very, very light, very, very loved, very comforted, very protected.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you summon an angel? Like, if you, let's say, if you translate just some words into this language and you start speaking them, just like any
Uh-huh.
angel shows up and you just take whatever it comes through, or do you like invoke a specific one? Because I know there are like different types of angels for like specifical things in basically everything, every religion or philosophy, you could encounter a bunch of different angels. So how
Correct.
do you do that, or how do you choose which one to do that?
Well, I actually had, when I was researching this and doing this, really delving into this angelic practice with the angels. I got I got a book specifically telling me like like different angels and their functions and what they do and things like that. Of course, you've got like the big ones like um, Uriel and Gabrielle and Michael and things and those ones. Those are like the big four or whatever you
Hmm.
want to say. And um, they they cover like a wide range of things like um, the Archangel Michael is known for protection, especially against demonic forces. In fact, a lot of times they'll picture um, San Miguel as an angel holding a sword to a demon's throat.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I did specifically, like I would look up like something, I wanted to do. Okay, so if I wanted, let's say, for instance, protection, I would invoke uh, Michael, Archangel Michael, and then I would translate what I wanted in Enochian. So I'd be like, please, um, Archangel Michael, please help me to protect this space, all four corners of this room and things like that, or whatever else I wanted him to protect or do.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. And I guess you can tweak it to whatever religion or belief or whatever you have.
Uh-huh.
Um, that Of course, if you don't have any, then you can just pick whatever, whichever you prefer. Um,
Yeah.
okay. And I was just thinking like um the same as you think the whole God concept. Are
Hmm.
angels some kind of egregore? Like, there's very famous ones that a lot of people pray to and put this intentions.
Hmm.
Does it work like if you call them, does it work better if you would call it like that because it has like this energy around it of so many people thinking and praying to it than if you choose like a kind of angel that no one really knows.
Well, that's an interesting question, and that's a very deep question. You know, of course, for those of you that don't know, an egregore is kind of like a strong thought form, um, stronger than a thought form in the manner that it can act independently on its own. And a lot of people have built these egregores to um, promote their secret societies and their needs and things like that. And over time, they become very powerful. And I don't I don't know the answer to this one exactly, but obviously, the more popular the angel is,
Yeah.
probably the better results you're going to get.
Mm.
That's just as a general rule, because they have more energy because more people know about them, more people pray to them, more people utilize them on a regular basis.
Hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. Like everything, the more famous you are, then of course, the more people buy your books or your CDs
Hmm.
or
Yeah,
like whatever. Um,
yeah.
but I would just add that
Hmm.
since you said some of them are created, so
Hmm.
um, I would just always make sure that the angel or whatever entity, but since this is about angels,
Hmm.
really, really, really do like a thorough research on where it comes from. Um, because they also have a lot of symbolism, like you said, like San Miguel sometimes is portrayed of having like a sword through a demon,
Hmm.
or in our case, here in Mexico, we have San Miguel, like the literal town that we went to, portrayed
Yeah.
with hearts and wings and like fire and all that,
Hmm.
which you can see and you're like, okay, but some of them have like very not so upfront symbolism,
Hmm.
or they could even have been created by someone. I'm not sure if there's like this division between like angels or like fallen angels, let's say like the evil side.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I just remembered because I recently saw like all the symbolism that sometimes we're not very aware of, and it's out there, of course.
Definitely.
So before summoning again, before summoning angels, also research where they come from and where the energy also, because I would imagine it's very different since taking this egregore concept. If you pull the energy of an egregore that's very famous, let's say in a religion, but this religion is very known for, I don't know, being aggressive or being misogynistic or being whatever, then yeah, you are praying to an angel, but maybe the intention of like the whole people behind it's not very good, or maybe they use it for some kind of weird practices. Um, that's the only reason why I would really do like a research on how it works. Because, for example, again, here in Mexico, there are a lot of witchery practices and like black magic
Definitely.
practices. And with a lot of them, they
Hmm.
use angels for doing that.
Hmm.
So I guess I'm also wondering at what point does it become kind of like evil, even if it's an angel. Of course, it always depends on your intention, but
Right. Well, as far as angels can be evil, well, anything you can, just like anything else, you could use them for evil purposes. Of course, there's like some more ones that are a little bit, I guess you could say, neutral or chaotic, like uh, like the big one is I know a lot of people have summoned like Metron. Have you
Mm,
heard of Metron?
yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people have summoned Metron, and I've heard that Metron's kind of like, not necessarily good, but not necessarily evil, so um and I guess it just kind of depends on what lessons you need to learn as far as like, because a lot of people that summon Metron, they're on a spiritual growth practice, and they're trying to grow in some way, shape, or form.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm, but most of the time angels are pretty pretty good, and they tend to even though like maybe maybe your experience with Metron maybe wasn't that great, but in the end it turned out good. So generally that's kind of what their purpose is. Their higher purpose is to guide you in the right direction. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Yeah,
It can be as evil or as good as you want it to be. Um,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
And it kind of
Just
depends, like what you were saying, like before. Definitely do your research. Definitely see what kind of things, this entity is known for, and go from there. And if you feel like any like something's not going how you want it, then by all means, abort your
yeah.
practice. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, dismiss it.
Okay. Yeah. I have Okay. So what could be the difference? Because I'm trying to think back also as we have seen it here.
Hmm.
Um, and so what's the difference with like an angel or a saint or stuff like that? Because sometimes for me that's kind of difficult to differentiate,
Hmm.
because sometimes there are like statues of angels or saints, and
Hmm.
I remembered sometimes people puts them upside down for them to do different stuff. Um,
Yeah. Well,
so
Santeria is like a whole nother a
yeah, but
whole nother ballpark,
not even
but
within that, just usual people. Sometimes they're
mhm,
like, "Oh, put this angel upside down so that it helps you," and this other thing.
mhm. Well, as far as the difference between angels and saints, let's go with that part first.
Mhm.
Now, the difference between an angel and a saint, an angel may not have had a physical body,
Okay.
whereas a saint has had a physical body. And then the Catholic religion, which I know Mexico is very prominent in the Catholic religion, and so you guys are a lot more familiar with saints
Mhm.
than like I grew up as a Protestant, so we didn't pray to the saints, we didn't have any statues. I'm familiar with the practice because I've obviously researched a lot of different things. So
Mhm.
um but as far as like the statues of the saints, and I know it's like especially like in Catholicism, it's a little confusing because like you call San Miguel, you call Saint Miguel
Mm-hmm.
is, but it's actually the Archangel Michael.
Yeah.
So there is so in Catholicism, it's kind of mixed, so
Mm-hmm.
you'll see that. And I think that's just the, um, kind of like the church going in and saying, okay, you can't really pray to the angels, but if you make them into saints, then we can pray to them. So,
Yeah. Yeah, because in Catholicism, angels just have this kind of like baby with wings shape,
hmm
and they are more called like guardian angels. But
hmm
I don't remember any of them having like a name or anything. They're just like cute babies. They're over there like, yeah, we're
hmm
cute.
hmm
And that was like the usual image. Also, like growing up,
hmm
my mom would always be like, pray to your guardian angel or ask your guardian angel to protect you. And I would just be like, okay. I even had like a little plushie of like an angel that's like
Yeah,
just like a kid in this position. And
yeah.
it would make like a prayer that was like, my little guardian angel of my that you make me sweet company. Don't leave me any day or night, because without you I would be lost. And that was like the prayer that we would make to this tiny angel. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, it didn't have any name or anything. We just
Did,
assumed some angel
did
showed up.
did you have any like experiences with that by doing that or anything?
I really don't remember.
hmm
Um, But every time that I would have like a bad dream, and my mom would be like, pray to your little angel. It's because you didn't ask for him to protect you at night. And I was like, but since I was so, I mean, I was a little kid, but I didn't believe in any of it. And I was
hmm
so, what's the word? That I don't believe
Stubborn.
in. No, I mean, yes, too, that too. But I was so. What's the word? Well, I just didn't believe in it. I was so
hmm
I can't I can't go on with this podcast until I remember the word. I was so cynical. I was so
Yeah.
cynical about it
hmm
that I would just be like, this doesn't even work. I don't
hmm
know why I'm bothering to pray to a little plushie. Uh,
Yeah.
so I didn't have any experiences with it, but I think
hmm
also myself, I never believed it. So if it happened or
hmm
not, I'm not sure. Um,
Yeah. Well, do you happen to remember like what made you think that it didn't work?
Just I just hated the church. I had
Okay.
always repelled the Catholic
hmm
Church.
hmm
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. Like
I
I
hope
sort of
now
went
they
that path
don't
myself.
I
Yeah.
hope now they don't ban this episode for now
Mm.
shaming the church now. I just always repelled it from, I don't know.
hmm
I knew nothing about it.
hmm
No one actually took the time to explain to me what was religion, or where all these figures and saints came from. It was
hmm
just like you have to believe it.
Yeah.
And I don't work like that. I have an Aquarius rising and an
hmm
Aries moon and a Gemini and Venus. I can't. I need to rationalize it, or I need for you to explain me why is it like that. So
Yeah. I guess with
um,
my Aquarius sun, it kind of was the same way for me.
yeah, I
Yeah.
I never liked it.
hmm
But when I started like my spiritual journey, and like sometimes people, you sometimes encounter people that do this kind of weird things of like, I'll read
hmm
your aura, or I'm gonna read you whatever.
Yeah.
Or like see your chakras and stuff like
hmm
that. Um, a lot of them would always tell me like I had a very big angel taking care of me and that I had always
hmm
had it. even if I
Hmm.
didn't see it. And
Yeah.
um I do think I do. Because I have never really have anything bad happen to me, even
Hmm.
like physically or nothing. I haven't had like a broken limb. I haven't had anything bad as a child happen to me.
Nice.
Um, or even now, like something extremely bad. I have always been extremely protective.
Hmm.
And sometimes I don't even know how. Sometimes I think like I should have died by doing this, literally. And I'm still alive. So
Yeah.
whoever is my guardian angel, thank you.
Thank you for protecting Paran Devi.
Yeah, and well, that goes related with the story I had of
Hmm.
my only very clear experience that I had with angels,
Okay. Go
or
ahead.
what I think were angels.
Okay.
So a couple of years ago, maybe more, like 4 or 5 years ago, my dad was in the hospital for like a very big emergency.
Hmm.
And the ambulance took him, and me and my mom were outside in the car, just kind of like waiting, because if you have ever visited the public system, the health public system in Mexico, you know that they're gonna keep you waiting for hours. I mean, it's free, but you're gonna have to face with the fact that the service is not very good.
Hmm.
So, at one point, let's say we got there around half day. My mom was kept coming in and out of the hospital, just like getting different things, and I was just there outside in the car.
Hmm.
And there was like a little, not a park, just like a little piece of grass in front of the park of the hospital.
Hospital.
And I went there and did meditation because I was very anxious and worried about what was going to happen. So
Hmm.
I just kind of did my meditation. I was like, please let my dad be okay, and like let him come out alive and well,
Hmm.
because the doctors were kind of like, well, there's either two chances. Either he just leaves this world,
Hmm.
or he makes it, but he wakes up with cerebral damage or some kind of movement or
Hmm.
paralyzed or something. There's no way
Yeah.
he's gonna make it out
Hmm.
as he used to be. So,
Yeah.
um, So yeah, I was just outside of like praying for it to be okay and everything.
Hmm.
And then I went back to the car to kind of like lay down a little bit. And by that point, it was probably around like midnight,
Hmm.
that I was still waiting outside the hospital. And
Yeah.
I kind of fell asleep and didn't, like in this state that you're still aware, but you are
Hmm.
somewhere else.
Yeah.
And everything was dark, and I just kind of noticed there was a little twinkly thing like on the corner of my eye.
Hmm.
And I thought like, well, that should be like the lights of a car or something, but it was completely dark outside.
Hmm.
So I kind of like kept looking, because if it was on the corner of my eye, then if I look, it was going to be like over here, more on
Yeah.
the center of my eye. But it kept being on the corner no matter how much I moved.
Hmm.
Um, and then I was like, okay, and I just kind of like laid down my head to see this little twinkly things,
Hmm.
and they were just like little lights, like I don't know how to describe
Just
it, just like moving
just
around.
going around. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And there were like different types of colors.
Hmm.
Um, and I just felt like this very loving energy. I felt immediately like it's gonna be all right. It's okay. It's taken care of. Stop
Hmm.
worrying. It's gonna be
Yeah.
okay. And I was like, okay, okay. And I just kept seeing those little twinkly things that I never knew where they came from.
Yeah.
So then a couple of minutes passed, or yeah, maybe minutes, and my mother comes back and she's
Hmm.
like, "Oh, your dad's awake now. He seems good. They're gonna keep him in here for a little bit more observation, but so far, I mean, he's awake." And uh, they're just gonna keep him here for examining if he has any damage, but he doesn't seem to have anything, which is kind of amazing. And I was like, okay, uh, I kind of
Wow.
knew that already, but thank you for coming to tell me. So she was like, yeah, we can go home. They're gonna keep him here and we'll come back tomorrow.
Hmm.
And yeah, eventually my dad came out of the hospital and he's perfectly fine. He's intact.
Nice.
And all the doctors were just like, we have no explanation. We have like no medical explanation.
Yeah.
Um, he should have some kind of damage by now, but
Hmm.
we did all the tests we could. He's perfectly fine, so
Hmm.
you can go home. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay,
Wow.
great.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
you're welcome.
Well, you also bring up the fact or the saying of guardian angels.
Hmm.
And that comes from even older than Christianity. Did you know that?
I assume. I mean,
Hmm.
Christianity and Catholicism just stole everything from whatever thing they could, but
Pretty much. Pretty
and
much.
and
Yeah.
just rebranded it as
Yeah.
new
Yeah.
eight guardian angel, little baby with
No.
wings. You had never seen it before. Yeah, but I'm not sure where's the actual tradition or where belief
Well, I
from?
mean, there are several beliefs, but they speculate that it may have originated in like the Greek culture, like the Greek and Roman.
Mm-hmm.
So they had guardian angels as well, and so
Mm,
they borrowed them from that. They and they actually called them. I think they called them demons, but spelled differently. So it's Deamons.
okay.
And if you, yeah, and if you know anything about programming, that they use these, they use demons too. There, spelled exactly the same. Now, supposedly guardian angels, but that it's kind of yeah. I tend to call a spade a spade. So I mean, I don't know. Uh, I haven't experienced like anything with a guardian angel per se, so I can't
Mm-hmm.
speak too much. Um, and like I said, I didn't grow up Catholic or like in a. Um, I know you didn't really grow up Catholic either because you didn't, you you kind of like automatically rejected the church, but um, like my culture wasn't Catholic. They're like America's very different than
Yeah.
Mexico, and a
Mm.
lot of the Catholic the Catholic culture is very ingrained, even if you don't practice it
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
per se. Yeah. So
So, okay, I didn't understand that. So, what we call guardian angels now, for the Greeks, they were demons.
yes,
Is that correct? So, what's actually
correct.
taking care of me to demon?
Well, I'm not that. That's what I've read. So I mean, I don't. The Greeks called them that. The Greeks called them
Mm,
demons, but like I said, Deamons.
okay.
Yeah. So yeah, they're it's a little leery. So I personally, like I said, I haven't interacted with my quote unquote guardian angel. Um, but yes, the Greeks called them demons.
Interesting.
Yes.
And um, do you know where this idea of this kind of like baby with wings comes from? I mean, I know maybe at some point they just figured that we need like a holy figure to put them to
Hmm.
match them with. Because from the Greeks, I immediately thought about Cupid.
Hmm.
Um, and so I
I
don't
think,
know.
yeah, from what my research has uncovered, um, and I haven't looked at this recently, but from what I looked up, the cherub was copied off of, like you said, Cupid,
Mm-hmm.
and that very babyish, angels, and I think the Catholic, um, what the Catholics say about cherubs actually is they're um they're angels of people that that died young, that died like in birth and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they're spirits of like children.
Yeah. Yeah, that was also another point I wanted to talk
Hmm.
about, how we
Yeah.
relate usually little babies or kids that died very young, or even
Hmm.
animals,
Hmm.
of when they pass away, they become angels, so they take care
Yeah.
of you in this, again, this kind of um guardian angel thing.
Hmm. Well, I think it's a little different in my own personal opinion. Um, because I think your ancestors do help you out along the way, and
Mm-hmm.
they are very helpful. But I don't consider them angels. I just consider them my ancestors, and not necessarily, they have my best interest in mind, yes, you know, but um, I think of when I think of like something that is on a higher vibrational frequency than like our ancestors. Does that make sense?
Excuse me. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, for me, it's so much different because I have always
Hmm.
grown up with this idea of um like ancestors are form part of kind of like your guides and angels too. And the people that you meet and
Hmm.
start leaving like the world before you, then they become part of like if as if all of these people were in a huge table like the one that they use at the United Nations, and they were all like a congress of like, hey, okay, so what are we going to do now? Oh, we
Hmm.
need to protect her from this and this and this. Oh, here comes a new one. Welcome. Yay, join us.
Hmm.
So that's kind of like the view that we have on angels. We don't attach it necessarily
Hmm.
to something that has a higher consciousness. Um, just
Yeah.
this belief that it could be anyone or anything, as long as
Hmm.
its mission is to protect you and to guide you, which I think it's a nice concept, because it puts
Yes.
this ability of you could be whoever you want. You could literally just be a little kid, and you would
Hmm.
still be given like this kind of energy, this holy energy, and this higher vibration energy that you are
Hmm.
now in a mission to take care of the people that you left behind.
Yeah.
Which is something also that we cherish and value a lot during Day of the Dead here in Mexico. Um,
Hmm.
and that's why basically the bridge between death and alive, all the relatives and all the ancestors and the dogs and everyone
Hmm.
come back
Hmm.
because all of them form part of this um, conglomerate of
Hmm.
guides and angels that you have for yourself. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, it's a nice thought to
Yeah,
have.
definitely. Well, in my opinion, we shape our own reality, so it's kind of like
Yeah.
whatever your own personal belief is,
Hmm.
then that's how things really are for you,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
because in my experience, we shape our own reality.
Yes, we do. Um, okay. Do you have anything else that you want to share with us about angels?
I think that's probably pretty good. What do you think?
Um,
Do you have anything else to share?
I just keep thinking about like this vision of angels being babies, and um I think it I just as a final thought so I don't forget it.
Hmm.
I think this actual concept was way more adapted later into like Renaissance and these paintings, where we see like
Yes.
a bunch of angels and like
Hmm.
I don't know how these are called in English, but in Spanish they are like querubines,
Hmm.
which are like this little angel babies.
Hmm.
Because I don't think that they even mention any of it like in the Bible or anything, or at least they don't portray them as babies. Uh,
No.
so it was more on like the Renaissance kind of thing that we adopted it. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to circle back to that.
I think historically that's when it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and to again check where all the symbolism, the symbolic
Hmm.
come from, because they could just have been literally made up by some middle-aged man like 1,000 years ago. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, just always check your sources. And I guess that was it.
Definitely.
A little bit of art class there too. If you haven't seen the
Yeah.
Renaissance babies, go check them out. They are kind of creepy
Yeah.
and kind of funny and kind of cute.
Hmm. Yeah. Like in English, we call them cherubs.
Oh, yeah, that. Um,
Yeah. So, um, and sometimes you'll hear like, especially in poetry and stuff, oh, she has a face like a cherub. So,
mm, mm-hmm. Okay. Well, um, I just want to ask you one last thing. So have
okay.
you ever experienced anything like that with angels? Like you never called them, you just knew that they were there.
Well, I never like, yeah, I have like done like some Enochian spells with them. I've asked them to protect, different people, including myself and like different areas. Um, have I ever felt like the presence of an angel? I can't say I have.
Hmm.
Like I can't say like I've like I can't say I haven't had an experience like you had. Um, but that doesn't mean I just still don't believe in them.
Yeah.
So,
I just thought it was interesting to know if you had any
Mhm.
close encounters as you have had with other entities.
Yeah, I've had enough close encounters with other entities. I guess the angels didn't feel like they need to make appearance.
Yeah. Or they're like, oh no, we're not getting in there.
That guy? No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Um, well,
All right. So I think that about wraps it up.
yeah.
Did you have anything you wanted to add?
Uh, just I want to know if anyone has experienced any angelical appearances and in what form. Do they appear to be babies,
Hmm.
lights, or also like this kind of grown-up men with wings? Could be too. Um, so yeah, just let us know. Let me know. I want
Definitely.
to know weird angelical stories.
Yeah, I want to know. I want to know them too. So leave those in the comments below. All right. Of course, if you like this video and you want to see more of these things, button, hit the like button, and we'll see you next time. Sat nam.
See ya.
Wai gajika kasa. Wai gajiki fate.